Hello, folks. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So, the G7 meeting in Germany has made at least one key point absolutely clear. Joe Biden's so-called energy transition to renewable fuels is a complete failure. It's a failure here in the U.S., but it's now a failure worldwide, globally, an utter failure. In Europe, the countries are talking renewables, but they're reopening coal plants. That's because they either can't get enough Russian oil or gas supplies, or what they can get is too expensive, or both. Austria, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands all reopening coal plants. Their so-called green strategies shoved aside. They made a transition, all right, back to the worst carbon polluters. The president of Nigeria, which itself, by the way, is a huge oil and gas producer, he is berating the Europeans for thinking renewables will pave the way to industrial prosperity, but they won't. European Brent running around $115, West Texas crude about the same, gasoline just under $5. All this causing massive political backlash, threatening economic recession. Biden's green strategy is in complete collapse. Now, most regrettably, the guy with a smile on his face is Vladimir Putin. The sanction strategy has backfired on the U.S. and NATO. Putin's making money hand over fist. His ruble currency is at a pre-war high. It's the pound and the euro that have been sinking out of sight. Putin's found new customers, China and India. India's Russian imports have moved from 30,000 barrels per day back in February pre-war to 1 million barrels a day in June. And when the Indian finance minister was asked why he's doing this, isn't he undermining the Western defense of Ukraine? He responded simply, everyone else is buying Russian oil. Why shouldn't we? Hate to say it, but he's right. I hate to say this, but Putin has outsmarted the West. Now, if Joe Biden had been willing to face reality and pull back on his war against fossil fuels, waiving his regulations and restrictions and sanctions on fracking and pipelining and refining and so forth, if he had shown some flexibility in the face of skyrocketing energy prices and a political revolt at home, then it's quite possible that energy supplies would be much greater today for all the components and distillates, and prices would be much lower, or at the very least, futures prices would be significantly lower, all of which would have added relief to the Western energy crisis. Lower prices would have hurt Putin's war machine financing. But Biden was stubborn, he was self-centered, politically narcissistic, and utterly failed to help the NATO coalition, as well as ordinary working folks and people driving trucks and grocery stores and real wages, all this at home. It could have been mitigated, if not avoided, but for his stubbornness. He's clinging to this idea of a 100% transition to renewables. It's a crazy idea. Now comes the nuttiest part of all. After gimmicks like a gas tax holiday or running down our strategic petroleum reserves, which are there for national security, not political price fixing, or even debit card subsidies for gasoline, here's the latest. Price controls. Yup, price controls. I'm surprised it took the socialists so long to get there. Janet Yellen leading the way, distinguished former Fed chair, married to a Nobel Prize winner, touting price controls on Russian oil. Really? But wait, it gets better. That former Wall Street capitalist Emmanuel Macron, well, he wants to go really big. He wants price controls on all oil producers. Russia, Saudis, OPEC, probably Venezuela, maybe Iran. Who knows? Probably his world oil price controls would mean, you guessed it, price controls on American oil too, right? It's only fair. Global oil price controls, not solar or wind, but fossils. And as I shut my eyes and lean back, I see Richard Nixon, Jerry Ford, Jimmy Carter, whip inflation now on a grand scale. It's a global race to socialism. Never mind the obvious shortages, enemy wars, or just the plain stupidity of repeating an age-old socialist mistake. But then again, when you look around that G7 table, you've got Biden, Trudeau, Schultz, Macron, Draghi, Johnson. You look around, I don't see much of a commitment to free market capitalism. I don't see any Reagans. I don't see any Thatchers. I don't see Milton Friedman. I don't see Adam Smith. I don't see the signers of the American Declaration of Independence. Oh, wait a minute. That's tomorrow's special. This is just a tease. Tomorrow's theme is restoring life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which works for me because Americans right now don't see much life, liberty, or happiness. But I know a way out. Yep, the cavalry's coming. Woke, big government socialism is dead.